Hi guys, this is Mrs. Rich again. This is lesson 9, and in today's lesson we're going to be looking at, well, how do we analyze words that contain the same root? So I'm going to do a quick sample of looking at words that have the same root, even though they might have a little bit different meaning, and then you're going to take a quiz after this video. So the next slide you're going to see some examples of words that have the same root in them. We'll talk about them, and then hopefully that will help you on your quiz that follows. So here are some examples of words that share the same common root. In the first example, we're going to be looking at the Latin root form, which means shape. And it may seem a little strange, but when we talk about each of the words that you'll see in bold italics, hopefully that will clear things up. So the following sentence has 3 words that contain the Latin root form. The boys stood in formation in their brand new uniforms, looking like the dictionary definition of conformity. So the big question is, how does the Latin root form relate to the words in bold italics? So when I think about the word formation, I think about like a marching band or the Blue Angels, the fighter jets that fly in formation. A formation is a prearranged shape. So, flocks of geese fly in this formation. They fly in a V shape. So formation is a noun that means a pre-organized, predetermined shape. So the next word, uniforms. The boys stood in formation in their brand new uniforms. I can break this into 2 parts. I know uni, like in unicycle, unibrow, means 1, the number 1. And if form means shape, it's because these uniforms really have one shape. And that sounds strange, but when you think about a uniform, everyone's uniform has one style, one set of colors, one design, and that's designed so that when you have opposing teams on a field or in a game, you can tell one team from the other because one team wears one shape of clothing and the other team wears another shape of clothing, so we can distinguish one from the other. The last word, conformity, refers to a behavior where you're following along and doing what everyone else is doing. So if you are conforming or practicing conformity, you are following one shape of behavior, one shape or standard of what is expected of you. So conformity, I think about my favorite movie, Mean Girls. We wear pink on Wednesdays. You can't sit with us in the cafeteria if you don't wear pink on Wednesdays. So conformity is that one shape of behavior. You know it when you see it, when all the kids are wearing the same clothes, behaving the same way, listening to the same music. It's one shape of behavior. So the next one we're going to look at is the Greek root phone, meaning sound. And we've talked about this one in class. So we think about telephone, phonograph. They all relate to the Greek meaning of sound. So here's a paragraph that uses 3 different words that contain the root phone. And let's see if we can figure out what they mean. It's hard to learn to read if you don't have a solid grasp of phonics. You'll need to be able to read and understand homophones like C and C to better understand what you read. Phonemic awareness is the key to decoding unfamiliar words. So again, how does the Greek root phone relate to the words in bold italics? Okay, so let's look at the word phonics. Since the word phonics contains the Greek root sound, phonics is very literally the sound letters make. So we talk about the long A sound or the short A sound, like sound like in cat, or the long A sound like in ape, and this would be the short vowel sound cat. So phonics is simply the sound that a letter makes, and when we learn to read, we put those sounds together to make words. The next word, homophone, has 2 Greek roots, homo meaning same, and phone again meaning sound. So in our language we have many words that are spelled differently And I noticed I spelled these two words the same, so I want to apologize right up front. So we're talking about the word see, like I can see with my eyes the sea outside of the window, so when I'm thinking of water. So homophone, same sound. They can be spelled differently, but they have the same sound. Another example might be I have bare feet, so when I had to run away from the bear, I got thorns in my skin. The last word, phonemic, when we talk, it has to do with phonemes, and that is, again, letter sounds. So if you have a strong understanding of what the sounds letters make as you're reading, then you have phonemic awareness. So the root phone really is the core meaning of all of those words in bold italics. So in the quiz that you're going to take today, you're going to look at the words that are identified either in bold or in italics. They share the same root. Think about, what does that root mean? And then how can I apply that root meaning to each of the words that are in the reading? So, I mean, take your time. This is called analysis. This isn't just picking out the word that looks right, or this is not multiple choice. You are analyzing words starting with at the root level. How does this word fit with the root that I'm given?